Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Fintech Fix, your weekly news roundup where I, Doug McKenzie, aka the guy that forgot to get his hair cut before lockdown 2 started, will talk you through the hottest fintech news that's been going on this week. Now, one thing that seems to be apparent in fintech is that most news actually drops on a Friday, and last week was no exception, so I missed it in last week's episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the story that came out last week that we missed was the fact that Starling Bank has achieved profitability. And this is a huge milestone for fintech because it shows that the neobank market actually has legs. Their money is where its mouth is, and it shows that people are looking to bank with neobanks in the future too. Now, Starling Bank is brilliant. It has done things differently to its competitors Revolut and Monzo. It's actually applied negative interest rates on people that put in their current account over £50,000. They're very much focused on one geography and obviously their business banking offering, but it does still show that if you work on that, you can actually achieve profitability, which in this age of tech companies like Netflix and all the way over to Ubers, you can see that it can still be profitable. So congratulations to the team at Starling. Now, our next news story is over in Australia, and that's because the Australian government is actually looking to use fintech to track and trace the spread of COVID. Yes, the Australian government is looking to use card payment data to actually be able to find out where people are and what they're spending at the exact time to see if they've come into contact with someone that has the virus. Now, this is absolutely huge news because it shows that fintech's capabilities yet again are so much broader than just typical financial services. When you have that much data, you can see everything so clearly. And what might be an issue is obviously the privacy settings that maybe some states have in Australia, but it's exciting to see what fintech can do to save lives. Now, Australia had a little bit of a nightmare earlier in the month because someone falsely claimed to have just bought a takeaway pizza when in fact they're working at a pizza joint, and it put the whole state on lockdown over COVID spreading fears. Now, obviously, if they had this card payment data, they would have been able to enact and see that this person would falsely claim that they bought a pizza, when in fact they were an employee of that pizza restaurant. It's all absurd, but it just shows how payment data can just go on and potentially even save lives. Now, I never thought I'd have said that. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you so much for joining us and have an absolutely brilliant weekend.